What's up, two viewers? My name is Pax, and I'm speaking facts. And today, I'm here to talk to you guys about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm back like scoliosis and halitosis, and today, I'm here to react to the online chatter that Big U has received a superseding indictment. Now, this is no laughing matter. The feds do not play. You know, it is a very intimidating state of affairs when you walk into a courtroom and you have paperwork that says the United States of America versus you. Trust me. Now, this is horrible. There are some people online who are seemingly celebrating this news or seem to be biased in one way or another. So we're going to jump around and cover some of this content. And I'm going to leave my colorful commentary along the way. So with no further ado, we're going to jump into it. And we starting over here with 600 himself, and he is going to start it off. Y'all go over here to 600, subscribe to his page, and see what he got to say. Until then, let's do it.
Big U's superseding indictment is out. He's been indicted again. Superseding indictment is out. Let me knock out these push-ups and we're going to talk about it. They got actual photos of the murder scene in the new indictment. Stay tuned.
So we see here first where 600 is saying that Big U has been superseded and received a new indictment. So news of the indictment has broke. I think it broke yesterday, and there's been a lot of people covering it. So Wack 100, where spoke about it, where on Clubhouse, where he seemingly has said that he has a cult following over there. So he talked about it as well, and I'm gonna go over here for him. And we're gonna see what he has to say about the situation. Let's see. Clubhouse TV. Y'all go over there and subscribe and check out what other content that they have. Excuse me for not being able to navigate this very well, but again,
walk to the door of the studio.
We got Wack 100 speaking on Clubhouse, talking about the superseding indictment, among other things. So we're going to tap in right about here and see what all of the hoopla is about. Now, Wack 100, regardless of what you may think about him, has been a huge part of this online beef with Big U. So without any further ado, here you go.
That's what they're going to use in that murder trial. They got him at Marley Mall House, cameras, witness, and the cell phone towers. And he turns his phone off, but they got him at the Airbnb with the kid from the ring. So they triangulated the time to take that the phone went off at Marley Mall, that the time it take you to get to the Airbnb. They got the time in there, right? Now, this is the time they don't got. They got the time when him and the kid leaves with the suitcase, right? Okay. The next time they have is when Big U gets back to the studio, he turns his phone on. This is when they say he was sweating and all this shit, right?
Right.
Right, but see, this is where it get ugly for him at. They have the time from original studio where he turned the phone off to Airbnb because the camera caught him. They got the distance it takes to get from Airbnb when they walked out. They got him leaving, the exact time leaving, the distance to where the dead body was found. And they got the distance from where the dead body was found back to Marley Mall House. So the whole trip would be like between 47 and 49 minutes from the time they got out. And when they lined up all they triangle timing, it came up 47 to 49 minutes.
They got one more thing too. They got the phone call when he cut his phone back on for Sylvester Robinson at the studio too.
At the studio. He shouldn't have, that phone shouldn't have came home till 3 days later in LA. Straight up. Phone should have never came home.
Now, y'all can hear clearly where Wack 100 is outlining a timeline that this superseding indictment has clearly discussed to some degree. So we're going to jump forward a little bit in the same conversation where Big U continues to talk about some of these things that he feels is important concerning this investigation. Here you go.
He is the producer that got pressed about that not the little boy, but the young man's death that happened in Vegas.
Yeah, well, Marley was, okay, so what happened was, while Marley's on the strip with his bro, Marley and Big U used to be close. They fell out. Okay, Marley ended up having to go to the prison. I dropped Marley off at the airport so he could turn himself in. They went with each other. Marley had left the nigga alone. Okay, y'all remember that content I was on YouTube of they showing, y'all probably don't even Marley. Loose cannon jumping a nigga sitting at a dinner table, that's small.
Mm-hmm.
But Marley Marl ain't stupid. If me and you, Big U, as tight as we all family stand in my house and all this, why would your little hitchman jump me and you do nothing about it? So Marley like, oh, nigga, you sent him. Because I told you no for something. So Marley left Cali back to Vegas. He was only in Cali because his house had coughed. So he was out here a year or two. They was going through the insurance shit, doing what he was doing. So he goes back to Vegas. He go back to Vegas. He finished out his court case. He take his time to get like 33 months. I come out there that morning and said, bro, come see me. I want you to drive me to the airport. So I drive to Vegas, pick the nigga up, take him to the airport. He drives. He takes the flight up to Oregon. Then he ends up going to Sheraton, the little camp shit, right? So now Marley comes home. He's on federal parole, right? He not with this dude at all, on nothing. Next thing you know, Marley he got a female coming down. He on the strip. He got a suite. He ain't coming back to the house for a couple days. Coincidentally, it's a good thing, this nigga, all this shit, Big U, for whatever reason, he didn't send the dude from what they said to Marley Marl house to the studio, and then he didn't came to the studio, and this when all this shit happened with the security drew down on him because he didn't know he was coming, and Big U left with him, and Vay stayed, whatever, all this shit. So now Marley is in the twist and getting questioned by the feds, and he got to talk to him because he on paper.
So that's a fact. If you on federal paper and your probation officer decide they want to talk to you for any reason about any subject, you gonna talk to them. So there's that. You guys can take that and do with it what you want. We're gonna go over here to Ceddy Nash. Ceddy Nash also had some things to say about this content. So I want y'all to see. And Ceddy Nash likes to read, so he might read a little bit to y'all. But we're gonna go over here to Ceddy Nash. Y'all go over there to Ceddy Nash and tap in. Y'all subscribe to his channel and see what he's got to say. He's great at covering content, and we're gonna tap in with him right now and see what he had to say about this content.
You hit with superseding indictment for threatening to kill Nipsey Hussle and other supposed to be overt acts, but other over acts? Okay.
Overt.
All right. Anyways, Eugene Big U Henley faced new federal racketeer charges alleging threats against Nipsey Hussle and violent gang control tactics. Federal prosecutors have sharpened their case against Eugene Big U Henley with the slate of new overt acts that depict him as a violent shot caller who boasted about disciplining Nipsey Hussle and others, even as he publicly branded himself a community mentor. There we go right here. In a new superseding indictment, The government does not accuse Big U of playing any role in Hustle's 2019 killing outside the Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles.
Y'all read that again. In a new superseding indictment, the government does not accuse Big U of playing any role in Hustle's 2019 killing outside the Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles.
Damn, it's been 2019 since that shit happened. The murder was prosecuted in state court where Ronald, I was about to say Ronald. I'm tripping, my bad, y'all. Eric Ronald Holder Jr. was convicted of first-degree murder and later sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. Instead, federal prosecutors say Intercepted calls captured Big U's years later threatening to kill Nipsey Hussle and others in describing himself as the hunter of the rolling 60s. Rhetoric they frame as part of a racketeering pattern of intimidation and control.
Now, there was some online chatter and some interviews done by some individuals that alluded to, the possibility that Big U may have had something to do with the unaliving of Nipsey Hussle. The government does not think that that's the case.
On December 31st, 2022, on an intercepted call, Big U said that he was bigger than deceased rapper Nipsey Hussle and that he disciplined Nipsey Hussle and that defended he was bigger than any other rolling 60, according to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
This is a
January 1st,
wiretap.
2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Big U said he was not beefing with Nipsey Hussle because if anyone beefs with Big U, I'ma kill him, period. I am going to murder him. The superseding indictment's new overt acts expanded far beyond the already detailed allegations about a Las Vegas studio artist's murder, dispensary robberies, and extortion payments. It adds a series of fresh overt acts that aim to show Big U and his associates using fear to tighten their grip on Los Angeles streets and on wealthy clients. In one added episode, Big U discusses disciplining a fellow Rolling 60s member identified as OG Crip Cuz, claiming he had to be beaten for perceived disrespect and warning that he could have had him killed instead. In another, he allegedly recounts a dispute involving Nipsey Hussle and other neighborhood figures, boasting that if things had gone differently, he would have had a problem with any man and that issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be here. A line prosecutor cite to show how Big U linked his status to life or death situations. So it say right here, overt act number 155 on December 30th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that when defendant Henley catches Wack 100, I'm gonna break his jaw. Yeah, me too, Big U. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding. Overt Act 156 on December 31st, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that defendant Henley was bigger than the deceased rapper Nipsey Hussle, that defendant Henley disciplined Nipsey Hussle, and that defendant Henley was bigger than any other Rolling 60.
Now, that's Ceddy Nash. You guys go over there if y'all want to hear more. He outlines the entire new superseding indictment. I just want to kind of bounce around here a little bit and kind of bring you guys up to speed from the way that I view it and from some of the people that are dropping this content. So one last place I want to take y'all to check out that had something to say is Abdul Aziz. Now, he also broke the content early this morning, and he had a little bit to say. He is a prominent figure from out of the Crenshaw district area, and so I feel like his voice can be heard in this capacity, so we're going to tap in with him. Again, you guys go over here to Abdul Aziz and see what he has to say about the situation. And until then, I'm going to give you guys my point of view from his mouth. Here it is.
Thing I want to talk about, certain things that I heard on the wiretaps that I read. Hey, Herman Douglas.
Cowboy.
Assalamu alaikum, brother, first and foremost. Whatever you got going on, whatever you're doing,
sounds a little condescending.
Lil Cat-Mac, whatever you got going on. How do you feel about Big U on the wiretaps threat to kill Nip?
You know how he
feels
feels
about that, because I always wondered how you was so tight with Nip And then when Nip died, you just automatically just jumped ship and just went over there with Big U. I couldn't understand that. Not only me, even the brothers in the section, they couldn't understand that.
You speaking for them?
Not only that he threatened to kill Nip, he threatened to kill others. And you know for sure I'm on there. Ain't no doubt about it, I'm on there. Ain't no doubt about it, 600 on there, Wack on there. Ain't no telling who else was on there, but I know for sure that I was on there for a fact. And I'm not gonna tell you how I know, but I know I was on there.
Tell us how you know.
Always ask me, man, why you won't forgive the brother? Nigga, what?
It's Ramadan.
First of all, he told on me, right? And then he lied in the penitentiary and told the brothers inside the penitentiary that I told on him. He put my life in danger then. And then here's it is, 30 years, almost 30-something years later, when the paperwork come back out, he plotting, planning to unalive me in a particular way, but they never stepped to me, and because you got to commit an overact on that.
That's a fact. So you guys get in the comments section. Let me know how y'all feel about all this. Again, it's not a good day for Big U and his family. If he has received a superseding indictment with the feds, when they supersede you, it gets worse. In the state, usually, from my experience and what I've seen with other people, they kind of handle things differently. And, depending on how things go and the longer you hold out, the deals tend to get better and better if they don't have good evidence. That's not the case in the feds. They play by a different set of rules. And when you receive a new indictment, other than the original one that you received, your time goes up. Your deal, let's just say they offered you a deal in the beginning for 7 years and you didn't take it and you played with them and waited too long, there's a time limit on that. And they will supersede you and add new language to a new indictment that includes new statutes, new mandatory minimums, and new charges. And that superseding indictment, now your deal will start off, it went from 7, now they might be starting off at 12 or 15 or even more in some cases. So you guys get in the comments section. Let me know how you guys feel about some of these individuals breaking this content. Let me know how you guys feel about Big U and his case and the state of affairs that he seems to be finding himself in right now. And I'm just here to bring you guys the content and the facts. My name is Pax, and until we meet again, you guys take care of yourself and make a new friend. I'm out of here.